I do, because we are for life distributors, and in any kind of industry that we are in, whether we have a job or whether we have career, whatever it is, I thrive on motivation, and I like reading books. That's how I get ideas on how to motivate my distributors from all over the world. My posts on Facebook, quotes from these books are essential for me. So I wanted to share, oh, by the way, I have every Monday we have a Women Empowering Women for Life group. It's at 9 a.m. California time, which would be about midnight here.
It is at midnight.
Yeah. It is midnight here. But what we do is we empower each other as women. If you would like to be part of that, I can do a special call just for this area of the world, and that way it's more. I don't know. Maybe Nancy can let me know if you have enough women that we could mentor that way. But I wanted to read something from this book. It's Flip Flop CEO. They're going to be our guest speakers for our Women Empowering Women on July 16th, which will be at midnight. We have them scheduled to speak to our women, and even our men if you want to be on the call. But this is a little something from Lauren's Words of Wisdom. It says, listen closely to the thousands of life-changing success stories told throughout the network marketing industry. They are real. Ask yourself, is what I am doing today ever going to get me the time freedom and residual income I deserve? When you align your career with true purpose, you'll never work another day in your life. So what is your dream job? Can you ask yourself that? For me, my dream job, I used to work at an optical. That's actually how I met Dave. I used to work at an optical. I was managing the optical, so I worked long hours because I was managing the optical. And I never had time to be with my two small children because I was divorced. So I felt I needed to work, make the money to pay the bills. And I made good money, but I only had $100 left at the end of the month. So I had to make that possible and work. And I couldn't get any more money because I was on a salary. How many of you are in the same boat? Raise your hand. Okay, so you have a certain salary you make every month. And you really don't have time to get another job because you're working 12-hour days. Well, when Dave came in that day at my vision center, he came in to buy glasses. He started telling me about multi-level marketing. And to me it was like, okay, I always ask myself questions. But he had such an optimism about, I wanted to sign up because he was telling me all about network marketing. And he says I would be good at it, and all the things that we notice in people that would be good at network marketing. So to make a long story short, we became friends, and I learned so much from him. And then we started dating, and then we got married. During that time, we joined For Life, and our life has been better. I was able to quit my job, and we've been doing For Life for the last 20 years. Now, this company has evolved, and I'm really thankful to David and Bianca Lisenby, because not only did they take a chance on us, we did, and we wanted to help take Transfer Factor to the world. These products are amazing. They not only have changed our health and our lives, but they have changed the way we live. And we're able to travel all over the world. I never thought working at the Vision Center I was going to be able to travel and see wonderful places and see, gosh, we've been to so many countries. So if that's what you want to do, you can. You can have an international business. How many of you want to have an international business? Raise your hand. Good, it is possible. We have corporate offices all over the world. And that's another thing. You need to, when you start your For Life business, how many of you have been here or been in For Life for a year? Raise your hand. A year or less. Okay, it's okay, raise your hand. Okay, that's great. So we have a few prospects. How many of you are going to sign up? You're here for the first time. Okay, so we have, you're all distributors. All right. That's wonderful. So we have a lot to learn from each other. And I wish I had more time, but I'm going to go ahead and have Dave speak now. But I'm on Facebook, Messenger. I am here to help you as well. I know you have Richard and Nancy. They're amazing leaders, as well as your other leaders and uplines. But if there's anything that you have a question on, whether it's product or whatever it is, like maybe you have a prospect that you have a question on in a certain country, best thing to do is look on the website and see if that area of the country is, there's a way to check to see if that country is available and, has a corporate office. But if you have any questions, feel free to message me. And now I would like to present my husband, Platinum International, David Daughtrey.
Okay, thank you, sweetie. Go ahead, yeah, flip that one off if you could, so we don't get feedback. Thanks. Okay, I'm going to share with you tonight our story, and I'm doing something different. I normally don't do this because I'm a conservative.
不好意思，大家，在是我再跟大家确认一下，有些是需要到中文翻译的吗？不需要害羞啊，今天害羞是你们是自己吃亏啊，不是 Andy 吃亏，不是 Dave 今天吃亏啊。有谁是需要到中文翻译的吗？有最好啊。好，没问题，在我回做翻译。
All right. So this is something different. I'm going to share our story.
对，今天很特别 ，Dave 他会就是说他会去分享他自己的故事，他们的故事。
So just so you know, I'm not one to brag. I don't like to brag.
对，他不想说吹牛啊，或者是说夸大其词啊，这样啊，他，这不是他想要的。
So the purpose of this is to impress upon you that somebody can actually start life all over again from the beginning.
对，他今天晚上最重要让大家知道，是让大家有一个很深刻的印象。其实一个人，即使他什么都没了，他还是可以再重新开始过。
At any age, it doesn't matter what your age is, it doesn't matter where you live, it doesn't matter your color.
不管今天你的肤色是什么颜色，不管今天你是多少岁，也不管今天你住在哪里，你是什么人，无所谓。
So you already heard that I was in prison.
我相信大家都知道了，他曾经经过监狱的。
I'm not bragging about that.
不是什么值得很骄傲的事情啊。
But since you know, let me tell you what happened.
OK， 既然你们知道了，让我告诉你们一下，是说发生了什么事情。
I didn't kill anybody, so don't worry.
我没有杀过任何人 ，OK， 所以不用担心。
So, in my 20s, I was very successful in network marketing. I started networking when I was 21. By the time I was 27, I was a millionaire.
在21岁的时候 ，Dave 就开始了他的这个 network marketing 的这个生意。在他27岁的时候，他已经是百万富翁了。
I had a great teacher, a great mentor, and I learned a lot in my 20s.
他有一个很好的老师，有一个很好的我们讲师傅 mentor 啦，一直在他身边教导着他，引导着他。
But I picked the wrong company. I was with the company for a number of years. I made a lot of money, as you heard. I had a plane, I had a yacht, I had BMW, Mercedes, a house on the beach, I had all kinds of toys. I spent my money poorly on toys. I lost everything.
可是他做错了一样事情，他选错了公司。 在他那时候的时候，就是在他27岁的时候成为了百万富翁的时候，他也是喜欢所有人都喜欢的东西，汽车啊、屋子啊，在海边有大房子啊这些。他那时候也做出了一个决定，就是说他把他的钱都花在了那些奢侈的东西上啊。
So what I learned from my previous experience is that we are just like the people we associate ourselves with. We're just like the people we hang around.
他那时候他得到了一个教训，就是说，今天你是怎么样的人，你就是个怎么样的人。
And so that previous company I was with had a bad culture. They had a culture really of taking advantage of people and hurting people, and many people lost a lot of money, and I chose to leave. The company went down, but I left before it went down.
在他之前的那一间公司呢，就是他成为了百万富翁的那一间公司呢，拥有非常非常不好的企业文化。然后呢，也是因为这个企业文化欺骗了很多的人。而在这间公司，在他还没有倒闭之前，还没有在走至下坡的时候呢 ，Dave 就离开了那间公司。
So in 1989, when that company was going down, something happened in my life.
在1989年的时候，在那间公司在走至下坡的时候呢，在 Dave 的人生中发生了一件很重大的事情。
One day I went to a store and I bought a cellular telephone.
他走进了一间店，他买了一架电话一架电话。
This is 1989.
那时候是1989年啊。
And the phone was a Mitsubishi 800 cell phone. It was black. It looked like a bat phone from Batman. It was black, and the handle clicked off, and buttons on the handle with a cord.
简单3个字，逮过逮，就是以前的Okay, good.
So, I bought the phone. I owned it. It was mine. I took it to a multi-level marketing convention in Las Vegas, Nevada.
说他买了那架电话，他就带去了在拉斯维加斯那边的一个国际大会，一个 convention， 一个国际大会。
So this phone was never activated. I plugged it in the wall to charge it while I was at the seminar.
在开这会的时候呢，他就把这架电话，他没有开机的，基本上就是先把我们讲把它 battery charge 嘛，只是 charge 进去，给它 charge 着，给它充电。
I came back to my hotel room that night, and I thought, just for fun, I would take the phone. I dialed a phone number. It was not active, the phone. I dialed a phone number, and the call went through. It worked.
他那家电话呢，他回去了他的酒店之后呢，他的电话其实我们讲你要打电话，你必须要电话线要有 active 的时候，你才能打到电话，对不对？他回去酒店，他讲说 OK， 我就随便按几个号码这样子，可是没有想到电话竟然打通了。
So I thought to myself, wow, I'll keep using the phone. It's free.
然后就讲哇，今天我们原来电话可以免费的这样子用，我根本不用去 activate 它了。
So the whole time I was in Las Vegas, for about 5 days, the phone worked. The last day, I got a recording. When I dialed a number, it said that you're not authorized to use the service anymore, and it cut me off.
他在拉斯维加斯总共有5天的行程，在他在最后一天的时候呢，突然间他收到了一个我们讲电话的录音，跟他讲说，你已经没有权利，已经不能够再使用这家电话了。
Now you have to understand the way my brain works.
你们要明白，当时我是这样子想的。
I thought if it worked once, I can make it work again.
我那时是这样子想，如果这家电话我可以免费用了这么多天，我还是可以的，再让它再一次的发生。
You have to understand, I am a very curious person.
你要懂，我是一个充满了好奇心的一位年轻人。那时候
My favorite shows when I was a little boy were Mission Impossible and I Spy.
在我还是小孩子的时候呢，他最喜欢的戏就是我们讲 Mission Impossible and
I Spy.
I Spy.
So I took that cell phone, opened it up, took the chip out, and I rewrote the code.
OK， 所以 Dave 就把那张电话拆开来，然后呢，他重新的把它里面的程序，把他的 program， 他重新的再写过。
All I did was I took the lock, there's a lock on your phone, it's 4 digits. I rewrote it so that when you try to lock your phone, I give you a code. What it would do is it would basically tumble your electronic serial number. ESN would change. the serial number would change in your phone.
OK， 说、基本上每次我们现在我们的 smartphone 里面每次都有一个我们讲 local， 好像4个 digit 啊7 digit 的，对不对？所以基本上 Dave 做的是他把整个的 local 他 be able 他 hack 进去了，然后他改掉之后，然后连你电话的那一家的电话，它的 SIM number 他得跟着更改了。
So if you just put my passcode in the phone, it changes the electronic serial number automatically.
所以就是当Dave 他 key in 他的 code number 的时候呢，他的 serial number 就 automatic 的自动的它也变了，它也改了。
Okay, so what that means is you get to make free phone calls and nobody ever gets a bill.
也就是说，当那一件，只是说，当他可以改了那一个 coding serial number 你换了之后，他就可以打免费的电话了，然后是根本不用付任何1分1毛钱的。
A dream come true for a network marketer.
梦想成真了，终于。
So I gave the chip to a friend of mine.
接下来，他就把他的这个的 chip 啊，他这个的东西呢，他交给他的朋友。
And he started giving it to his friends, and we had a multi-level marketing.
接着他的朋友又交给了他的另外一个朋友，然后朋友又交给他的另外一个朋友。
So what happened was, about 2 years later, a friend of mine calls me on the phone and says, Dave, have you seen the Wall Street Journal newspaper?
2年后呢，之后呢，他其中的一个朋友就打电话给 Dave 讲 ，Dave， 你有看到了 Wall Street 的这个报纸吗？的其中的一个新闻。
So I went and bought the newspaper. On the front cover, it says in big letters, CTIA, Cellular Telephone Industry Association, declares $73 million in losses from tumbling cell phone.
OK， 那一个新闻呢，它的主题就是说呢，是由 CITA， 就是一个电话的它的一个的协会，它发出了一个的新闻发布会，就是说有超过了73 million， 7300万的钱，就是说7300万呢，我们讲挑光公司啦，他们损失了，就是因为原有像 Dave 这种的人才，把那个电话呢，我们讲7改8改，然后打的是免费的电话。
I knew I was in trouble.
拿嘢啦。
So, on April 15th of 1992, I had 14 Secret Service agents jump me.
在1992年的时候，4月15号呢，有
Yeah, 14 Secret Service agents.
14个我们讲国际情报中央局的知识人员啊，像 FBI 这种的 CIA 这种的找他的，请他喝茶。
This is true, I was so scared, I peed my pants.
Serious?
Seriously?
驚到瀨尿。
So, the lesson I learned is if you play with fire, you might get burnt.
OK， 他得到的教训就是不要玩火，你玩火你会自焚，这火会烧到你自己。
So from 1992 to 1996, I went through the court system, all the way to the Supreme Court.
在1992年一直到1996年呢，他就是在法院进进出出，一直去到了最高法院。
Nobody could understand how I wrote the chip.
没有一个人可以知道 Dave 他是怎么样的，就是说重改那一个的 chip 这是他整个的程序，他怎么样的 rewrite， 就是说重新的编写过。
So I represented myself. I was my own lawyer.
他没有请任何的律师他是自辩 ，OK， 自辩。
Because nobody could understand it.
因为根本没有人会明白。
So in the end, I'm at the end of the story. In the end, I finally gave up and said, okay, I'll do 9 months. I went to a camp for 9 months. No fence, no guns. It was the honor system. And guess what I did? Every night, I taught multi-level marketing class.
结果终于法院有了最后的裁判，就是说判了他9个月的，其实是软禁不是说那种真的是关在监牢里边有4面墙这样子的。而裁一裁，他在这9个月的时间之内，他在我们讲被软禁的时间之内，他做了什么事情？每一天晚上他都教课，如何做我马格尼是说通过这个网际网络来发展你的事业。
So during those 9 months, I prepared myself mentally, physically, so that when I got out, I started my life over again from the very bottom.
所以在这9个月的时间之内呢，他也让他自己的思维上做过准备，也让他的身体上他也做到了准备，是说当他出来了之后，他又可以再从零开始，重新开始。
Now, let's talk about what happened after prison.
OK， 现在他要跟大家分享，就是在他从监狱出来了之后发生了什么事。
Very important to understand, if you really want something, you will find a way. And if not, you will find what? An excuse. I'm the kind of person that I don't like excuses. All right? And I'm going to show you a video in a minute of a friend of mine. So, I got out of prison, started life over again.
OK， 说他出来了监狱，然后呢，他的生活又从零开始了。
This man lives in San Diego. His name's Kyle Maynard.
这位朋友呢，他的名字叫 Carl， 在 San Diego。
Kyle has no arms or legs.
卡尔呢是没有手也没有脚的。
I want you to listen to this story. It's about 2 minutes.
OK Dave 希望大家可以听一听他的故事，大概是2分钟大的。
If you ever feel down, or if you ever feel sorry for yourself, just look at the way this man lives his life. And this man is tremendously successful. He's very rich.
如果在生活中大家有些时候对自己的生活过得不如意，对自己不满意的话，不开心的话，请大家看一看这一位朋友，因为这位朋友呢，他对他自己的生活是充满了热情，充满了希望的，活得比任何人都更加的好。
We brought him to Malaysia. Do you remember? He spoke here in Malaysia with us.
Dave 曾经带他来过马来西亚的。
So let's listen to his video.
来看影片。
Should work.
When I was younger, my dad told me he believes the purpose of parenting was to make me and my sisters a little bit better version of him. And I think about the time when I was born. There was a lot of fear and doubt and frustration. I was born without my arms and legs. And I don't have any kids of my own, but I do have some pretty amazing parents that had an attitude that they weren't going to allow that to go and control and dictate and affect my life in any major negative way. Doctors told them a lot of things. I might be dependent on their help living at home the rest of my life, maybe dependent on prosthetics or other devices that would be very expensive. They really didn't have an education. They didn't have a whole lot of money. There was, I'm sure, a lot of hard times early on. But they made that decision early on that they weren't going to just to allow me to live a different life, that they were going to go and treat me as normal. I have a baby niece now. She's 8 months old, and her name's Kinley. I see Kinley reaching out to go and try to grab the spoon when she's being fed. When I'm watching her do that, I thought about the first couple times that I would go and reach out to try to go and grab the spoon, and then how hard that must have been for them to see me fail a whole lot. Learn how to pick up a spoon and hold it just between the ends of my elbows, like the way that I hold the spoon now. I'm sure it must have been hard. It was their natural instinct to want to come in and try to help me out at first, but I had to go through those failures to learn how to do it. And some things came natural, some things didn't. But now in my life, I really don't have that many adaptations for things because of what they taught me early on. Learned how to eat with a normal spoon and fork, just holding the silverware between the ends of my arms and swinging it around and go and scoop the food up. Learned how to shave kind of the same way, holding the shaver with the ends of my arms, writing with a normal pen, pencil, holding it between the ends of my arms. Type about 50 words a minute on a normal keyboard. Now I live in a 3-story townhouse on my own. My bedroom's on the top floor. I've got a stool to go and get up to the bathroom sink. And my vehicle that I drive, I've got a Daughtrey. It has lifted up pedals, extensions of the pedals. I use my left foot for the brake, my right foot for the gas. It's a normal steering wheel. Put the seat up a little bit closer to the wheel. And it's become my favorite hobby to thoroughly freak people out in the Starbucks drive-thru. Pass my credit card real quick, go and pay for the coffee and see people like kind of freak out. What about it? Throw coffee all over the place. But to me, they encouraged me to not focus on the disability. And I think a lot of times we get caught up in looking at the wrong things. And as adults, for me with my niece, maybe for you and your kids or your grandkids, I mean, they will watch you to see what you're focusing on. And I think if they'd helped me with everything, I wouldn't have been able to learn how to do things on my own. I had to go through and learn how to fail a lot at first. The very first time I got myself dressed, I was 16 years old. It was my summer going into, summer break going into my junior year of high school. I was sitting at home in my sweatpants, and my best friend Joey calls me up and he says that him and his mom wanted to come and pick me up and take me out to a movie in like an hour. Sitting at home alone, and my mom was 5 minutes away at a local park watching my sisters play in a softball tournament. And I told her, I said, there is absolutely no way I'm asking my best friend or my best friend's mom to be dressed. She said, let me call you back in a couple minutes. 5 minutes later, she called back and she said, I'm sorry, I can't leave. You're gonna have to find a way to do this on your own. So I had to go through a grief cycle pretty quick. I had 32 seconds to be sad, maybe another 29 seconds to be really ticked off at her, and had to figure out how to do this. Now the clock's ticking, so I've got an hour window to go in to make this happen. So I went and started with my left sock and battled with this sock, trying to get this on my foot. And finally found some kind of tool. I knew that there would be some kind of tool to use to get the sock on. My dad was an engineer and always helped me think outside the box, so I went and found some paper clips and undid the paper clips in my mouth to shape a hook. So I stuck the paper clip inside the sock and I just fought with this thing for like 30 minutes to get that first sock on. The next sock I was able to figure out in about 15 minutes and use my same paper clip system for that, and went and leaned back and stuck the paper clip inside the zipper of my pants and used that to go and zip my pants up for the first time. That whole process altogether took like an hour. Now when I get dressed on my own, it takes maybe a minute. If I'm just throwing on my socks and throwing on my pants, zipping up my pants, I don't use the same adaptation. I figure out how to do it just with the ends of my arms, and maybe it takes a minute. But when we start anything, it's really, really hard at first. But I think in order for our next generation to be a better version of ourselves, then we do have to learn how to fail. And sometimes failure is not fun, but I believe it is the only way to go outside of our comfort zone and to learn, is to be knocked down and to learn how to go and to stand back up. My name is Kyle Maynard, and I am positively positive.
So Kyle is an amazing person, all right? When you saw him climbing at the end of the video,
卡尔是一个非常非常棒的人。当你们看到他在最后一幕的时候，他在爬行着的时候，
have you all heard of Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa?
Yes.
He climbed to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. He crawled to the top because his friend died in Afghanistan, and his dream was to have his ashes spread on the top of Kilimanjaro. So Kyle crawled to the top to spread the ashes.
卡尔其实刚才那一幕呢，他只是在爬的时候，只是要到，因为他的旅行，他对他的一个战友在阿富汗的时候去世了，因为他答应了他要把他的骨灰爬到了这个在非洲的一个高山上，然后把他的骨灰撒下。
So I get out of prison in 1997.
所以在1997年 ，Dave 从监狱出来了，
I'm starting life all over again.
从零开始，
No excuses.
没有任何的借口。
I also had many failures before.
他也是在之前有很多的失败，
I learned from every one of those failures.
在每一次的失败当中，他都学习着。
When I got out of prison, this is where I lived.
当他从监狱出来的时候，这就是他住的豪宅。
It was $400 a month for rent in this little room.
每个月只是在那小小间的一个房间里面的租金是400块美金。
You can see that the door was taken off because on the back side of that door is graffiti.
你可以看到这个门呢，它是拿走，基本上它是拿走了，因为呢，在门的后面呢是很多我们讲那种涂鸦，人家的涂鸦。
So 2 days before they put that metal door on, my next door neighbor was arrested for selling cocaine. Seriously.
在 Dave 等了2天，他装了这个铁门的时候呢，他的邻居，他的隔壁家给警察抓了，因为卖可卡因，就是卖白粉。
So I was sleeping on the floor, on a mattress, only with the clothes on my back. I had no car. and I had one wooden desk.
在他的房间里面呢，只有一张木的桌子，然后有一个我们讲地浪啊，对，这边的话叫地浪，有一张的地浪，然后呢是根本没有任何的床单，只是他把他的衣服只是铺在上面，只是这样子睡觉的。
But I had my dream,
可是他拥有梦想，
and nobody was going to steal my dream.
没有一个人会把他的梦想偷走。
I met Gabby.
他遇见了他的太太 Gaby，
I was living in this little apartment.
只是在他这个很小间的这个豪宅的时候，他遇见了 Gaby。
She had a house.
Gaby 有屋子，
She had 2 houses,
还有2间，
And drove a Lexus.
and she drove a Lexus.
哦，还驾着 Lexus。
And she paid for our first date.
而且他们的第一次约会呢，反而是 Gaby 给的钱，买的单。
I'm not a cheap guy. I was just broke.
对，那时候真的是完完全全我们讲破产了。
And that's how I started For Life.
也就是在那时候，他开始了 For Life。
So what happened was, one day I got a knock on my door, on that door.
发生了什么事情呢？是有一天有人在他的门那边敲门，
And the postman gave me an envelope, and inside was a bottle of Transfer Factor Classic.
给一个邮差，我们讲送信送一个挂号信来的时候，他打开的那个信封里边呢有放着一罐的 Transfer Factor Classic。
The person who sent it was actually the scientist for For Life.
哦，说寄信的人其实是 For Life 的一位科学家。
I had met Dr. McCausland before For Life.
Dave 其实在 before 就是在 For Life 还没有成立之前 ，Dave 就已经是认识了，他也见过了Daughtrey McCausland。
So when I got the bottle and the letter, I respected the person who sent it to me, and so I took a serious interest in learning about it.
当 Dave 收到了那个信封跟那封信跟那一罐产品的时候呢，就引发了他一系列的好奇心很大的兴趣，想知道更多，到底这是什么东西来的。
Now, I was suffering from a condition at the time called Crohn's disease.
那时候他也是，其实他的身体也是有一些不好的有一些问题啦。
It's a digestive
是
disease.
一个消化不良的，只是跟他消化系统有出现一些问题的。
So I thought I'm going to take Transfer Factor for myself.
所以你讲，既然他收到了一罐的 Transfer Factor， 倒不如你自己吃。
I fell in love with Transfer Factor.
他就爱上它。
So I really wanted to share this product with people.
说他真的很希望可以跟更多的人分享到这个产品。
But remember what happened to me before in multi-level marketing?
大家刚才还记得吗？在他之前发生了什么事情？在他在做着他的事业的时候，
I was successful, but I lost everything because the company was a bad company.
他曾经在那一间公司达到了最高峰，可是也是从一夜之间什么都变没了。
But I always told people network marketing never, ever failed me. People failed me, companies failed me, but network marketing never has failed me.
他跟自己讲，传销这个行业呢是远远的没有让他失望过的。公司让他失望了，他身边的朋友让他失望了，他的事业伙伴让他失望了。可是呢，network marketing 传销这个行业远远没有让他失望过。
I know it's a fact that network marketing, this model of business, has made more millionaires than any other business model.
他知道这是一个铁一般的事实，传销这个行业 ，network marketing 这个行业已经创造了无数的百万富翁，以及更多其他的事业来讲的话，已经创造了更多的百万富翁。
So I love network marketing, I love Transfer Factor,
他喜欢传销，他喜欢 transfer factor 转移因子。
but I was afraid. I was afraid because I didn't know the company. I wanted to know the people that run this company.
可是他害怕什么呢？因为之前曾经有过不好的一些的经历，他想知道在这一个 transfer factor 背后的这家公司是谁在掌管着这家公司，操控着这家公司。
So I did something that most of you cannot do. I bought a ticket, got on a plane, and I flew to this gentleman's house.
So Dave 做了一个决定，他相信在座的每一位，包括我自己在内，应该都不会做下这个决定。他买了一张机票，他飞到了这一位神士的家，这位 gentleman 的家。
When I met David and Bianca Lisenby, That changed our life.
当他遇见了 David 还有亚卡利斯蒂这对夫妇的时候呢，从此 David 的一生改变了。
Once I met David Lisenby, I knew in my heart that with me or without me and Gabby, For Life would still be very successful. And since I felt that way, why not join?
当他遇见了 David 和亚卡利斯蒂的时候呢，他的心里面打从他的心里面，他就知道了。就是说有 Dave 没有 Dave， 这一间公司会一直长存着，这间公司会一直会越来越好，而也是因为这一个的感觉，这个的感觉让 Dave 讲说 ，Well， 为什么我自己不去尝试呢
So I know network marketing works. I know transfer factor works. Now I just want to make sure that For Life, the company, works.
Dave 知道传销是肯定是可以的。transfer factor 转移子也是肯定可以的，而接下来最后一个问题就是顾虑，就是 Dave 也希望说这家公司也是可以的。
So after I went to Utah, I went back home and I sat down and it took me about 3 hours. I prepared a simple presentation.
当 Dave 从 San Diego 回到了他自己的家乡，他约了3个小时的时间，他准备了一个很简单的一个的我们讲一个的 presentation
Remember, I had no car, so my tool was the telephone.
还记住吗 ？Dave 是完全没有汽车的，那时候他还是蛮贫穷家的，他只有电话。
I was calling so many people a day, my tongue started to hurt, talking so much on the phone.
他每天一直打电话，打到呢，他的舌头呢都已经开始是会疼了，会发麻发疼了。
And then I would borrow Gabby's car at night, and I would go to do a meeting for whoever would come and listen to me.
然后呢，他会跟他的太太 Gabby 借机车去借那些朋友愿意的来听他分享这个机会的。
I look a bit younger, don't I?
这个是他在还年轻的时候，现在也是年轻的。
So I just started talking to people, doing meetings and trainings, inviting anybody that would come. I had a simple attitude. Some will, some won't, so what?
Dave 呢，他就很积极的在做我们讲去见朋友啊，我们讲从事 meeting 啊、开会啊，他抱着的就是他抱着的心态就是 SW， 有一些会，有一些是不会，我要说话。
Now, the way I work is very simple. I work through people.
他的行事作风，他的做东西的方法很简单，就是他是跟人一起合作，跟人一起做东西。
Most of the people I was talking to on the phone had full-time jobs.
大多数Dave 那时候他联络的朋友们，那一些朋友们呢，多数都已经是有在做我们讲做这工作的，就是说他们在打这工的。
Now, my full-time job was For Life.
Dave 那时候他的 full time 就是说他的正职就是 For Life。
So I'd ask people, I would do it very simple. This is what I would do. Jonathan, I'm Dave. Good to meet you. Jonathan, do you know 10 people that I don't know? Could you, if I asked you, if I were to sponsor you tomorrow, could you introduce me to 10 of your friends? Is that possible? Do you know 10 people?
I do.
You know 10 people?
But
Okay.
I need to know why.
Exactly, and that's good. We'll get through that. Okay? So he knows 10 people I don't know.
OK， 所以基本上 Dave 做的东西是很简单，他就去问了一个朋友，像刚才这个 example， 他就问了，他讲说 Jonathan， 你有10个你认识的朋友吗？肯定是有。然后接下来就是讲说接下来 Dave 就问他，这样你有没有说你可以让这10个的朋友让我也跟他们见个面吗？肯定是可以。当然 Jonathan 刚才问他，为什么我们要见面呢？
So I would ask Jonathan if he believes me, if he believes in For Life, if he believes in transfer factor, join my team.
Dave 跟 Jonathan 讲说，如果你相信我，你相信 transfer factor 转移因子，你相信 For Life 的话呢，来跟我加进我的团队。
And my goal is to talk to the people that you know, you see, because I have been doing this for a little while. I know what I'm doing, and if I can talk to your people, I will probably have more credibility because they don't know me. They can't judge me. They can judge you. They can't judge me.
Dave 想说，他接下来他要做的，他的目的，他的工作就是说，他会跟他刚才的那10个朋友，他会跟他们聊天，会跟他们分享，为什么是由 Dave 来分享，而不是由 Jonathan 来分享呢？因为 Dave 自己本身他经验，他经验他懂得是比较多，而且呢，通过 Dave 他讲出来的时候，他的可信度是会比较大的，是会比较强的。
So I would ask Jonathan to just line up some people for me to talk to. He would call them and tell them he has a business partner and that I would like to share with them what we are doing. And then he introduces me to them and I present.
而 Jonathan 需要做的其实只是很简单的几个步骤，约他的朋友出来见个面，然后呢，剩下的东西呢就由 Dave 他会跟他们做分享。
And that's how I kept busy, working through my people's people.
这里是接下来为什么 Dave 就越来越忙碌，就是因为他一直去见人，一直去见人。
And pretty soon I was talking to at least 10 new people every day. But I didn't find them. Somebody else found them and introduced me to their people.
接下来呢，就是平均每一天他都会跟10个陌生人讲话，而这10个陌生人啊，不是 Dave 自己找的，都是经过他的朋友介绍啊这样子的。而 Dave 他做的东西还是一样的，他持续的做分享罢了。
So what happened was, pretty soon I was doing conference calls over the telephone.
So 很快的，那时候电话只能通过电话，就是说，当 Dave 在讲这电话的时候 ，multiple 在同一时间可以有3-4个人一起在 join 那个电话，就是说我们讲说电话会议。
People were bringing other people to listen to the call.
他的朋友们还会再带他们的朋友一起参与那一个电话来听 Dave 的分享。
And as my team started to grow, I started going out, visiting them, and working with them.
当他的团队一直在扩展着的时候呢 ，Dave 就开始去见他们，然后再继续的帮忙他们。
This is a simple business.
这是个很简单的生意。
But you have to work through other people.
可是你一定要和别人一起合作。
I want to give you an example.
我要给你一个example。
Is anybody here today brand new for the first time?
有今天谁是第一次来的吗？
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I need one more. 10. I got my 10. I got to talk to 10 new people tonight. Now I ask you, did I invite any one of you?
Dave 今天晚上他已经跟10个陌生人讲话了，而他要问一个问题就是，
But
今天晚上是 Dave 邀请你们来的吗？
somebody invited you, right?
可是是有人邀请你们来的。
You were invited by somebody, right?
有
So
人邀请
I'm
你们来的吗？
talking, I'm sorry, I'm talking on behalf of whoever invited you, right? I'm doing the talking.
可是今天 Dave 是在这边，他在讲这东西，他在做这分享，而不是那个邀请你们来的朋友今天站在台上，对不对？
And that's how I built my business, is talking to people for my people. And if I'm not talking to people for my people, I'm looking for new people myself.
这就是他成功的一个秘诀：借力使力，不费力。
So as I started to build my business and it started to grow, my lifestyle and Gabby's lifestyle and my family's lifestyle changed.
当他生意一直在扩展着的时候呢，当然Dave 还有他的太太 Gabriela 呢，他们2个的生活环境也越来越好了。
There's nothing wrong with showing success.
绝对不需要感到害羞，或者是觉得感到很内疚，要跟人家炫耀你的成功。
So as I started making $10,000 a month and $20,000 a month and $50,000 a month and $100,000 a month, it got bigger and I went out and built our family a nice house.
当 Dave 在 Fortnite 的花红，他的收入从1万块美金到2万块，到3万块，到5万块，到10万块，以及更多的时候呢 ，Dave 就开始建立起了他的梦想屋，他的豪宅。
And all of a sudden people started looking at me and they're going, "Whoa, Dave, what are you doing?"
开始就很多朋友们在问 Dave 你在做些什么东西啊？
I'm doing For Life. Come on, let's go.
我在做这 Fortnite， 来，我们一起来。
Some will, some won't, so what?
有一些会，有一些是没有兴趣，没有可能，或者是没有说话。
And I started working with people around the world.
而且他已经也但在那时候呢，他也开始跟全世界的人一起开始做。
So I'm going to share a few pictures, a few lifestyle pictures with you.
他要跟大家分享几张在他生活中的一些生活照。
So we built our house on top of a mountain.
在山顶上的豪宅，这是他现在的屋子。
We've got wild deer. We even have a wild bobcat, mountain lion. A lot of wild animals. We live on top of a mountain.
OK 有很多的野生动物来在那里。
A lot of wildlife. Gabby took this one morning, just not too long ago. But the views are spectacular. If you're ever in San Diego, come visit us.
这是他的太太 Gaby 在一个的黎明破晓的时候呢，他拍下来的一个画面，真是非常非常的漂亮。在圣地亚哥。
That's my toy in the garage.
他的玩具。How many cars you have?
5?
5辆车。
So this is the kids in the front yard. The view at night is spectacular. That's San Diego
这
downtown.
是夜景，这个就是圣地亚哥的夜景，整个城市。
Okay, we made this a family business. I encourage you, get your family involved. All right?
这
Good.
这是一个家庭的一个的事业来的，然后呢，他也是极力的推荐大家，就是说，让你们的家人跟你们一起参与这个事业。
Diana's 29.
Diana 29岁。
You see what does that say? I don't know if you can read it or not, but you know what crystal that is?
查一猜，他手上拿的这个水晶是什么东西来的
GID. It's a Gold International Diamond.
黄金国际钻石。
29.
29岁。
Leslie, Gold International Diamond, 27.
Leslie 27岁，黄金国际钻石。
We made this a family business. Gabby, Gold International Diamond. Let's give her a hand. So in our home, there's 3 golds, platinum, and 1 international diamond. Our son Brandon, I don't have a picture of him in here. He's 18. He's an international diamond.
在他自己的家里边呢，他有3个黄金国际钻石，1个白金国际钻石，跟1个国际钻石 International Diamond， 也就是他的儿子。
So Gabby, she ordered her present from Germany, and they delivered it, I don't know, a year ago. I ordered mine, and they delivered mine.
这个是他们。
It's a fun toy.
他们就喜欢，就去买了他们的玩具。
We meet great people. You know who that is?
他们在整个美
Who
国。
guess who that is? Matthew Johnson. We have great speakers at convention, and some of these people are very inspirational, and they're wonderful people.
他们在这些的名人中，在他们的身上学到了很多很多的东西。
Okay, I was asked to kind of show this. This was the trip we just came on, okay, when we just flew here right now. So I went ahead and Gabby took some pictures. So all I can say is this. I apologize because I don't like to brag. But when we travel, we're very spoiled.
再一次讲一下，Dave 自己是个不喜欢炫耀的人来了。这一张照片呢，是他刚刚这一次他的行程，这个我没记错，应该是在长野 Airport， right？ 这个是在新加坡的樟宜机场来了。说他会叫Gaby 他的太太来 Gaby 来跟大家来讲一下到底发生了什么事情。
So we do fly first class. We have a private entrance to go into the airport.
Well， 他们飞当然不是飞 economy， 他们飞的是头等舱，然后自己有自己的一个的门。如果大家有去过长野 Airport 的话，只要是新加坡 Airline， 它有他们属于他们 first class 的自己的一个门，一个的通道。
But let me tell you, flying first class sometimes can be. When I'm with Gabby, I'm fine, but it can be lonely. There's only 4 beds on the plane.
对，像因为飞头等舱让他感到非常的寂寞。为什么？因为在一架很大的飞机上只有4张床罢了。
So this is when you at the Changi Airport, you get your own private lounge with a private chef.
他们在这个长野 Airport 的时候呢，他们拥有他们自己的私人的这个的等待的地方，就是说登机口，然后也是拥有他们自己私人的chef， 就是说厨师。
There's 4 beds on the plane.
一架飞机上只有4张床呢。
Have a little toast, caviar. Eating caviar. Your bed. watching a movie in your bed. This is all on the plane. Okay, so let's watch this real quick. Anyhow, our family is spoiled. And the reason we're spoiled is because of all of you.
Okay, Dave 想大家再看多一个的影片，来。
So what I want you to understand today is that this business, even though I'm standing up here bragging, and I apologize, but it's important to know that you can start over again. All right? All I have done is talk to people. That's all. It's so simple. But when you talk to people, you have to know what to say. So you take the time to learn something. And then when you find someone that's willing to follow you, you take an interest in helping them, supporting them.
Dave 今天他最主要给大家带来一个讯息，就是即使你今天你之前曾经失败过无所谓，因为 Dave 自己也是从零开始。而在这一个生意、这一个事业，最重要就是你要去跟人家谈天，去跟人家做分享。如果那一个人他愿意跟随你的时候呢，你就一定要愿尽你所能去帮忙他，去带领他。
So I'd like you to watch this video. It's not a very good video. It's not very clear, but it's very good.
OK， 所以 Dave 希望大家再看一个影片，这个影片可能它画质不是那么的好，可是是一个非常非常棒的一个的 video。
Pay attention to how important it is to first be a follower before you become a leader.
对，请大家要千诺来注意就是说，在你们还没有成为一位领袖之前，你们一定要先成为一位很好的跟随者。
Okay, let's go ahead and play.
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore. It's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out and you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not 2 nuts. 3 is a crowd and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute, you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is over-glorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit, but you saw what really happened. It was the first follower that transformed a lone nut into a leader. There's no movement without the first follower. See, we're told that we all need to be leaders, but that would be really ineffective. The best way to make a movement, if you really care, is to courageously follow and show others how to follow. When you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first person to stand up and join in.
That's one of my one of my favorite videos.
这是 Dave 其中一个最喜欢的一个影片。
Now, I'm going to finish in a minute, but I want to talk about this man.
也想和大家分享一下这一位朋友。
So Gabby and I are working just as hard today. After 20 years in For Life, we're still working.
Gabriela 和 Dave 呢，已经在 For Life 20年了，可是呢，他们没有停止过，还是每天呢都是持续的在见着朋友做着东西。
I'm still prospecting.
还是在像我刚才讲的，还是在每天都是还是在继续再见着新的朋友。
Last year, in February of 2017,
在去年2017年的2月的时候，
I took a trip to Kenya, Africa.
他Dave 飞去了非洲。
I actually started working in Kenya 5 years ago.
Actually Dave 呢，他已经是在非洲的这个悬崖利的这个地方呢，他已经是在5年前，他已经是在那个地方已经开始在做这一些的东西了。
I am not a quitter. I don't quit.
在 Dave 的字典里面呢，放弃这2个字是从来没有出现过的。他不是一个轻易放弃的人。
But after 4 years of trying to get Kenya going, nothing was happening.
可是，在试了4年的时间，他一直在希望在非洲的肯尼亚这个地方呢，可是真的是什么都没有。
So I went to Kenya in February of 2017 to close down my office there.
所以在2017年2月的时候呢 ，Dave 就飞去了肯尼亚，去把他在那一边的办事处就把它关掉了。
I have never gone to a country to work for life and quit. I've never quit.
Dave 从来没有去到一个国家，然后呢之后呢就是在做 for life， 而且之后又放弃了，他从来没有的 never ever。
So when I went to Kenya, one gentleman that had joined For Life 4 years ago, he asked if I would talk to his friend.
所以在这4年之后呢，当Dave 再次回到了这个肯尼亚的时候呢，这是他其中的一个的下线，他的一个Daughtrey，然后他就问Dave， 你可以方便吗？去见一见我的一个朋友。
Now, the man who asked me to talk, his name was Richard. That's not this guy, different guy. He asked me if I would talk to his friend. This is the friend.
OK。这是说他的那一个下线，他的名字叫 Richard， 可是这个不是 Richard 这个不是他的下线，这个是他的朋友要他见的那一个朋友
Now Richard was in a company called Forever Living.
Richard 在一家的公司叫做 Forever Living。
Have you heard of Forever Living?
有听过这家公司吗？
They sell aloe vera.
卖乳灰的产品的。
So Richard said that he had a friend who had been in Forever Living for 15 years.
So Richard 讲说他有一个朋友已经在这个 Forever Living 里面已经15年了。
And he was very frustrated because the company was they were making changes and it was hurting him.
然后Richard 基本上是非常的沮丧的，为什么？因为已经15年了，这间公司呢还是一直在做着改变，一直在改这东西啦，而且弄到他们是都很不开心的。
So I invited this man to lunch, have lunch with me.
So Dave 就邀约了这个朋友跟他一起吃午餐。
So in February of 17, we have lunch. He doesn't do anything.
OK， 在2017年的2月的时候呢，他们只是吃了一个午餐，他什么都没有做。
I go back to San Diego and I start dripping on him. What I mean by dripping, sending him an email, sending him a text, maybe every 3-4 days, just saying hello, how you doing? You know, trying to maintain a friendship.
当 Dave 他回去了 San Diego 之后呢，他没有想说跟这个朋友就从此失去了联络，反而是他就开始给他一些的send 给他一些的电邮一些的讯息或者是一些的网片这样子影片就是说一直跟他保持着一个朋友的关系。
So after I met this man, I told myself, I have got to get him in For Life.
在 Dave 认识了这个朋友的时候之后呢，他只是跟自己讲了一句话：我一定要让他加入了 For Life 这个事业。
So I go back to Kenya in April, and we have lunch again.
So Dave 又在2017年的4月，他又再回到了 Kenya。
I go back again in July, and he invites me to his hometown.
所以在2017年，就是去年的7月的时候呢，他又再回去的时候，这一次呢，他就邀请了 Dave 去到他的家乡。
I go back again at the end of September, and he finally makes a decision to join For Life.
在去年的9月的时候呢 ，Dave 又再一次的回去了，而这一次，终于这个朋友他决定了，他要加入 For Life。
So he really got started, I'd say, in October and November. It took me almost 1 year to get him in For Life.
所以 Dave 大概如果是说真正算来的话，花了大概是接近整1年的时间来说服他，来一直跟他做 follow up 做跟进，以到他真正的加入了 For Life 这个时间。
Now, I was not waiting for him. I'm still working, talking to people. I'm not working, but I kept dripping on him little by little.
OK， 在期间的时候呢 ，Dave 没有讲说他只把他所有的精神跟他时间全部花在他的身上，同一时间他还是去见他其他的朋友啊，他朋友的朋友啊这样子。可是他没有忘记一直跟他保持着联络，一直跟他保持着很良好的朋友的关系。
So I sit down with him. I show him how to do a presentation.
所以 Dave 就坐下来跟他教他怎么样的去做一个的presentation。
Now remember what I said earlier? I work through people, through them.
还记得吗？在 Dave 刚开始的时候，他有讲过一句话，就是说他喜欢跟朋友们一起合作，更喜欢跟人类、跟朋友们一起，大家互相的配合。
Now he's a medical doctor.
哦，他是一个西医啊，是一个医生来的，
He's a surgeon. He's a pediatrician.
外科医生。
He operates on children.
哦，儿科 ，sorry。
Yeah, pediatrician, surgeon. So what he did exactly what I asked him to do. I said, Dr. Ogina, all I want you to do is invite me to talk to your people.
OK，so Dave 要这一位 Daughter 呢做的东西就是很简单的，他跟这个他跟他讲说，我要你做的一样东西，就是说你带我去见你的朋友，让我跟他们做分享，就是这么简单。
So all day long, I sat in a hotel cafeteria, and people came in. You just call them up. Hey, you need to come and listen to this. They'd come and listen. Next, half an hour later, someone else comes. An hour later, someone else comes.
所以整天的时间在酒店呢，就是Dave 就是坐在这个 cafe 里边呢，就是基本上就是说每一段时间呢，这个医生就会打一个电话叫他的朋友，嘿，你可以有时间吗？可以过来一下吗？我有一些东西让你知道。之后他们就整天是没有停止过的 ，Dave 一直在跟这位 Daughter 的朋友做着分享。
Wouldn't that be wonderful for all of you if you sat at a table and people come walking in the door and you talk to them and sign them up?
你不认为这是很棒的东西吗？你只需要坐在那一边，而且你的朋友们进来，有人进来，然后你就跟他们签了，他们就会成为 For Life 的会员了。
And that's what we did all day long. We signed people up.
这就是 Dave 他整天他花的时间就是这样子，一直人家进来，他就把他们签了，成为了会员。
Now you see the team's growing. This is all in 1 month.
在1个月的时间可以看到吗？整个的团队已经快速的成长的发展到现在的这个阶段了。
So here's Dr. Ogina. He was a complete stranger a year ago, and now he's got a team going in For Life.
在1年前，这个 Daughter 他还是一个陌生人，可是现在看到吗？他有属于他自己的团队了。
In 5 short months, these are all diamonds and presidential diamonds.
在短短的5个月时间之内，这一些你们所看到的都是钻石跟总裁钻石。
All from one man, wherever Dr. Ogina is right there. Okay? So, you understand how this team started through one person. You with me? It only takes one person.
Dave 要跟大家带来一个很重要的一个讯息，就是说整个的团队开始的时候只是有一个人，就是从这位医生他的身上开始。
So this was last week. We were all in Dubai.
这个是在上个星期拍的，在迪拜。
Most of them have never even left Kenya.
大多数他们在一生人中都没有离开过他们的国家。
This is the tallest building in the world, called Burj Khalifa. We're at the 125th floor.
这是在全世界最高的 building 叫 Burj Khalifa， 有总共有125层。
So, it's fun. You go out and you have fun with people. It's simple.
是 是绝对是一个我们讲是一个很方的一样东西来的。
Now, Gabby and I had dinner at the Burj Khalifa. That was on the 124th floor, at the highest restaurant in the world.
这是在全世界最高的餐厅，他们两个的浪漫的主办。
Kind of a blurry picture, anyhow. That's from the window. Now, this is Singapore. So you guys,
新加坡
this business is fun. Imagine traveling the world. I've been to 99 countries now. 99.
可以
Everywhere I go, I've got friends. Gabby and I have family everywhere.
可以想象一下 ，Dave 到了今天在波兰已经20年了，他已经总共他去超过了99个国家，而且每一个国家他去了，他都认识到了新朋友，都认识到了新朋友。
We're having fun, aren't we? Aren't we being silly? You gotta have fun. Okay, I'm coming to the end now. Gabby and I made this a family business. All right?
再一次的跟你们这办这个就是一个家庭的一个的事业。
What I want to tell you tonight, I'm not here to give you a lesson about transfer factor, and I'm not here to give you a full presentation on the company, the pay plan. What I'm here to tell you is that any of you can do this business if you really want to.
Dave 他想跟大家讲的就是，今天晚上他不是要跟大家讲转移因子有多好，这间公司有多好，甚至他也不是来在这个呢跟大家讲说一些人生的大道理啊什么，可是他只是想跟大家讲 ，Sorry, what is your last message?
Now what?
只要是你们心里面你们想做的每一个人在做的每一个人，你们都可以做到。
This business is very simple.
这个生意非常的简单。
It's just about not quitting. You don't quit.
他的金句就是不要放弃，就是不要放弃。
Some things you will just figure out as you do it.
很多时候就是在你在做这的时候，很多时候你会找到你要的答案。
Two quick stories.
两个故事。
Believe it or not, I am a shy, quiet person.
大家不懂信不信啊 ？Dave 其实是一个蛮内向的人。
If you saw me at home in San Diego, I don't run around with a For Life flag in the air. Woo, For Life! I don't do that.
如果大家在圣地亚哥在他的家啦见到了 Dave 是不会在他的家跑来跑去拿着发亮的旗在边叫这发亮的，他是不会这样子的。
I work quietly, calmly. I sit down with an individual. I show them a presentation. I ask them, would you like to have this lifestyle? If so, let's be partners.
Dave 会很冷静的、很清楚的做每一样东西的时候，他会跟他的事业伙伴一起坐下来，跟他的很仔细的跟他沟通每一个的过程。
Now, I have failed many, many times,
Dave 曾经失败了很多次，
but I've always learned from my mistakes.
可是，在每一次的失败当中，他都吸取了教训。
I speak fluent Spanish.
他可以讲很好、很顺畅的西班牙语。
I always wanted to learn Spanish as a child.
他在小时候是小孩子的时候，他就已经很想学西班牙语了。
So I had an opportunity at a young age, when I got into network marketing, to speak in front of a group in Spanish.
他在很年轻的时候，他接触到这个传销的时候呢，他就已经是可以在很多人的面前，就是以西班牙语这样子来做 presentation。
Now, I had a speech all prepared and memorized in my head.
他有一个稿词，他已经是想的记在他的脑子里边了。
And when they announced my name to stand up to speak to everybody, I forgot all the words.
但是就是说邀请 Dave 上台的时候呢，他完完全全他记不到的，脑子一片空白。
So I stood in front of about 500 people.
说他站在500个人，大概500个人的，
My face was red,
整个脸是红的。
and I looked at the audience,
他看着观众，
and I said, Estoy embarazado. I thought that embarrassed, because I was embarrassed, I thought the word was embarazado, embarrassed. So I said, Estoy embarazado, which means I'm embarrassed, but I wasn't embarrassed. en este momento, which means I am pregnant at this moment. That's what everybody always pregnant.
对，那时候呢，他的第一句话，他开口讲的时候呢，他讲错话了，他讲的一句话是说，我怀孕了。
And they all looked at me and started laughing at me.
说那全部人看着他，就在那边一直在那边笑他，狂笑啊。
And then I realized what I said, and I was more embarrassed.
当他知道了他刚才其实讲错话的时候，他更加的不好意思，更加的丢脸了。
The point is, I could have gone away crying and quit, but I didn't. I gave my speech the best I could, and today I speak excellent Spanish. I continue to learn.
第二条讲的就是当时其实他可以大很像很多人这样子直接冲向后台啊，或者是直接不要再讲下去了。可是他没有，他坚持下去，也就是因为这样子导致他今天他可以很顺畅的跟人家以西班牙语跟人家做这 presentation， 跟人家做这交谈。
So I have learned the most from the difficult moments of my life. Prison, I learned a lot from that. Speaking in Spanish for the first time, I learned a lot from that failure. And guess what? The first time that I gave a presentation in multi-level marketing, that was a scary moment.
在他的人生当中，他都在很多很艰辛的环境之下，他学到了很多东西。很像他在监狱的时候，是不是学到了很好的，上了很好的一课，对不对？而且他在学着西班牙语的时候，也是给他上了很好的一课。可是呢，sorry, when is the last message? The first presentation. 可是呢，在他在做传销的时候，他的第一次的演讲的时候，他的讲师说是他最害怕的时候。
Now, let me tell you about my first multi-level marketing presentation.
OK， 让 Dave 跟大家分享一下他的人生的第一次的这个传销的时候，第一次跟人家分享的时候。
I was 21 years old.
他21岁。
I could easily invite 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds to come to the opportunity meeting to listen.
他可以很轻易的邀请18岁啊、19岁的朋友们啊来听他，就是说来参与他的会议。
But I had a problem inviting adults. Somebody older than me. I was 21. Anybody older than me intimidated me. I was afraid of adults.
可是呢，他远远有一个恐惧感，就是在比他年龄大过他，因为他21岁嘛。比如说那些比他年龄大过他呢，他邀请不到他们。
So one night, on a Friday night, my mentor, he said to me, David, you're going to come to a seminar. And I said, it's Friday night. I want to go party. And he said, no, you're coming to a seminar.
对，在一个星期五的晚上呢，就是他的上线，他的 mentor 就跟他讲说，来 ，Dave 我要你来参与一个会议，一个开会。可是 Dave 讲不要啦，今天星期五很扫兴的这样子我应该是要跟我朋友们去 party。
I went to the seminar, and that day my life changed.
可是后来他还是做了选择，他去了那一个的开会，可是从此以后他的人生就改变了。
I sat in the front row.
他坐在 first class。
And the three speakers were Jim Rohn, Mark Victor Hansen, and Zig Ziglar.
三个都是赫赫有名的大讲师。
I got to shake their hands and talk to them just like this close. I talked to them.
他可以就是在很近距离的这样子的跟他们接触的。
Now, what happened after that is what's really important.
在那之后发生的才是真正重要的，那个要点重点才是在那边。
My mentor came up to me and he said, David, you come to the meetings every week, but you have a problem. The people you're bringing are children. They're 18 and 19-year-olds. They're not going to do business. I don't want you to come back to the meeting until you can bring somebody older than you.
说他的 mentor 就是他的师傅啦 ，OK， 就过来就跟 Dave 讲了一句话 ，Dave， 我发现有一个很大的一个问题，就是每一次你带来的都是小孩子，没有讲小孩子了，都是一个18岁、19岁的这些的小朋友们，而这一些的朋友们他们是不会做这一个事业的。从现在开始，直到你能够带到那一些就是比较成年的人来的时候呢，你才开始再来参与我的 meeting， 我的会议。
So I missed the next 2 weeks. I did not go to the meeting because I couldn't find anybody to take older than me.
So 接下来2个星期 ，So Dave 就根本没有去参加了那个会议，为什么找不到人呢？反倒 阿明马那去有啦。
Finally, 3 weeks later, I showed up at the meeting with 4 adults.
终于在3个星期后啊，他又再一次回去了那个会议，带了4个成年人。
I was so excited. We sat in the very front row.
他非常非常的兴奋。第二呢，坐在 first class。
And guess what? The presenter didn't come.
大家猜一猜发生了什么事情？原本要演讲的那一个讲师没有来。
So after waiting for an hour, people started to leave the room.
所以等了接近1个小时，人家等得不耐烦，就开始陆陆续续的阿明帮他尿。
I had to make a decision.
所以必须要做一个决定。
I stood up, I turned around and looked at everybody, and I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give the presentation tonight.
所以 Dave 就站起来 take the lead， 他做了整场的 presentation。
My knees were shaking.
我相信不用解释了吧？他是怕到他的腿在给抖了。
I thought I was going to pee my pants. Seriously, I was like this writing.
太过紧张了他。
Here's the point. I don't know what I said that night.
那一天晚上根本 Dave 是不懂他在讲什么东西的。
And you know what? The people in the audience probably didn't even understand the word I said.
你懂更加荒唐的是什么吗？就是那节基本上他的观众们根本不懂 Dave 在讲什么东西。
But that was one of the most important nights in my career.
可是这是在他的事业当中，这是最重要的一个晚上。
Because I stood up in front of a group of people and gave a presentation.
因为他站起来，然后到了台前，对着一组的人、100的人，他开始了他的第一个的 presentation。
And I had never done that before.
他从来没有这样子做过。
The Spanish, that experience happened after.
然后呢，就是刚才他所讲的那个西班牙语的那一个的陈述会是之后的事情了。
The point is, once I stood up in front of a group, I realized if I can do it once, I can do it twice. And now it's natural. I feel comfortable.
Dave 他就从他第一次上台的时候呢，他就学到一样东西。如果我可以上台第一次，然后第2次、第3次、第4次，一直到现在非常非常的自然了，已经是根本不怕了。
So I want to finish tonight by telling you all this.
说他要结束今天晚上他的。
If you want to grow as a person,
如果你想要在你个人你要持续的成长。
go ahead and you can go back to the slide that I was on, because that last one I want to show. Okay. If you want to grow as a person, if you want to be successful in this business or any business,
如果你想在任何的事业，或者是在后来的这个事业成功，
you have to be willing to accept change.
你必须要可以接受改变。
Your life will change.
你的生活，你的人生将会改变。
I am not the same person today as I was when I started network marketing.
他在他还没有开始network marketing，看他今天的他是完完全全2个人了。
I've transformed into a different person.
他蜕变了。
Now, For Life apparently thinks that I do a pretty good job. They think that I do an okay job.
OK， 我后来可能你会想到他是一个相当不错的一个的工作啊。
So I'm going to share with you. No one has seen this yet. You're the first ones.
So Dave 会跟你们分享，就是说你们没有看到的一些的我们讲背后的辛酸啊。
I just got this 2 days ago.
他2天前他才刚刚。
So this is a new promo video from For Life coming out.
这是我们公司 For Life 公司呢，这是接下来的最新的一个 promo video 来的。
Before I show the video, though, I want to tell one last story, please.
在他还没有说这个 video 的时候，他有最后一个故事想跟大家分享。
Okay, this is a fun story. This old man,
有一个老人家，
he became a billionaire.
他成为了千万富翁。
He had oil wells in the state of Texas.
然后有油田在 Texas。
When he became a billionaire from his oil wells, he decided to have a big party in his mansion.
说当他成为了亿万富翁，他就想说，嘿，我就要组一个大 party 在他的豪宅里边啊。
So he invited all of his family, friends, neighbors, co-workers all over to his mansion to celebrate his becoming a billionaire.
他请了全世界来到了他的这个别墅呢，就是要来庆祝一下他成为了这个亿万富翁。
So they all come over to his mansion and they're inside having drinks and talking.
所以全部朋友们就来了，全部人就来了，在里面就玩啊、喝啊、吃啊。
And the old man says, everybody listen up. Let's go in the backyard. There's a beautiful garden outside. There's a full moon. Stars are out. Come on, let's go in the back.
说那个老人家呢，他就跟他的客人们讲 ，OK， 来，我们去后面的花园，因为今天月亮也很圆啊，就是说整个环境都很美啊，来，我们去后面。
Everybody goes out to the backyard. And they're standing outside, drinking, having a great time. And they look over at a swimming pool and the lights are on.
说当全部人都在他们的在那个老人家的后院的时候呢，就刚看到了那一个的游泳池啊。
And the old man says, everybody, let's go over to the swimming pool. Come on. And they all walk up to the pool and they look at the pool and they see it's full of crocodiles.
所以那个老人家就带了他所有他的客人们去到了这个游泳池，可是，在游泳池里面呢是布满了鳄鱼。
The old man says, everybody listen up. The first person that can swim across that pool full of them there crocodiles, if you get across alive, I will give you one of three things.
OK， 说那个老人家就跟他的客人们讲，如果你们有谁当中可以再跳下去这个游泳池里边呢，可以游到了，就是说到了这个终点的话呢，我可以给你们3样东西，我可以给他3样东西，当然是还活着的话。
If you make it across alive, I will give you $1 million in cash.
第一，我会给你100万现金。
Or I will give you one of my oil wells.
或者是我会给你我的其中的一个油田。
Or if you're a man and you make it across alive, you can have my daughter's hand in marriage and you get everything.
或者如果你是男的话，你还是到了终点，你还是活着的话，你可以娶我的女儿。
And as soon as the old man finishes saying that, there's a splash in the pool. There's a guy in the pool.
老人家一讲完话了，就整个的我们讲那个水花就溅了起来，很多人就冲了下去，开始游泳了。
And this guy starts swimming like crazy, and he gets to the other side, pushes himself out. He's huffing and puffing, his face is all red.
有一个男的就跳下去就使尽了全力，就游到外面，终于他就脱颖而出了，他是唯一的一个这样子上来，上气不接下气了。
The crocodiles just about tear his arms and legs off, but he makes it to the other side.
鳄鱼已经是差那么一点点就咬到他了，可是他还是成功的到了终点。
So the old man says, I don't believe it.
老人家讲不可思议啊。
What do you want? Do you want $1 million?
说老人家问他，这样 OK， 你赢了，说你要100万现金。
And the man says, no.
我不要。那个男人讲我不要。
You want one of my oil wells.
那你是不是要我的其中一个油田？
The man says, no.
那男人讲我也是不要。
Aha, you want my daughter's hand in marriage, so you can have everything.
说那个老人家讲，这样你应该是要娶我的女儿，说你可以继承我的整个家产，是不是？
The man says, no, I just want to know who the idiot is that pushed me in the pool.
我也不是，我只是想知道刚才是哪一个白痴把我推下了游泳池。
Here's the lesson.
这是故事的教训。
Every one of you that's here today, you are here because somebody pushed you in the pool.
你们今天的在座的每一位，你们今天会在这边，就是因为你们有一个朋友把你们推进了这个游泳池。
We call this pool the pool of for life.
可是我们把这个的游泳池，我们叫做这是属于 for life 的这个的游泳池。
A lot of people jumped in the pool.
很多的人跳进了这个游泳池。
But I ask you, does everybody know how to swim?
可是我想问大家，是不是每个人都懂得游泳？
Not everybody knows how to swim.
不是，对不对？
But I ask you this, can everybody learn how to swim?
可是我想问大家，就是每一个人都可以学习如何去学会游泳，对不对？
Of course you can. So the pool represents the opportunity.
说这个游泳池其实是代表了机会。
Now the crocodiles, they represent the people that are negative.
说鳄鱼呢，就代表了那一些很消极的、很负面的人。
If you pay attention to the crocodiles, they will tear your arms and legs off.
如果你只是把你的专注力只是放进你的重心放在鳄鱼身上，鳄鱼肯定会咬你的。
Most of the time, the people that are negative with you are the ones that are your friends, family, co-workers. They know you, and therefore they're negative. Do not let them tear your arms and legs off.
而可悲的是，通常呢，这一些很负面的、很消极的这些人，通常就是你身边的朋友、你的家人或者是你的同事。千千万万不要让这一些的人咬到你。
Stay focused on getting to the other side.
你们只需要专注的游到终点就好了。
In our case, the other side is Platinum International Diamond.
在这个故事呢，就是在终点等着你的就是白金国际钻石。
When the man was in the pool, what if he had stopped to look around at the crocodiles?
当那个男人他在那个鱼眼池的时候呢，如果他停下来在四周围去看一下有没有鳄鱼的时候，会发生什么事？
He stayed focused and he just kept swimming.
他完全没有，他就是一直在专注着，只是要到终点罢了。
So don't pay attention to the negative people. Leave them alone.
说不要把你的重心放在那一些很消极那一些很负面的人。
And for those of us that get to the other side, being gold or platinum, when you get to the other side, you don't get out of the pool and walk away and say goodbye, everybody.
而在座的那一些已经是到了终点的，成为了黄金国际钻石、白金国际钻石了，你们也不要说直接从那个鱼眼池起来，然后就拍拍屁股就走了。
You turn around and you help as many people as you can get across the pool.
你们应该做的就是你们应该要转身，然后把在那鱼眼池里面还在游着，快要到终点的，伸一把手把他们拉上来。
And that's what this business is all about.
这就是这一个生意它的精髓的所在。
And that's why Gabby and I are still working just as hard today. We're trying to help as many people as we can get across the pool.
这里就是 Dave 还有 Gabby 两个一直20年以来的，还是每一天的持续的在鱼眼池一直把人拉上来，把人拉上来。
So I ask you tonight, do you want to get across the pool?
所以今天我问大家 ，Dave 问大家，你们想不想到达终点？
Let's swim together, help each other together, leave the crocodiles alone, stay focused, and I promise you, you will get to the other side.
只要有团队精神，大家互相帮助，我们是一定可以到达终点的。
So I want to thank you for your time tonight. I apologize. I know I went long. So I've not even asked for permission to show this video. So, but anyhow, this is a new video from 4Life. I thought it was pretty cool because they used my speech at convention. So let's see what happens here. Let's see if it works. Here we go. After 20 years, I want to say this. I am just as excited, actually I'm more excited today than I was 20 years ago. Why am I excited? Because we're learning new things today, and for life, you have an opportunity right now you will probably never have in your life again. And that is because all the resources are there, you have got the greatest company, you've got the greatest products, and you know what? The timing is right. Why is it right? Because the way a company grows is it does this, and it hits critical mass and explodes. And I promise you, over the next 5 years, you're going to see 4Life just explode around the world. And we're going to be part of it, and we're going to do it together. Short but sweet.
Yeah. Okay.